everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So today's video, I had done ranking videos for the value resorts and the moderate resorts, and then I never got around to doing the deluxe resorts. So I had done, I think, deluxe villas because I do DVC, but DVC and deluxe resorts are separate. So today I am ranking my favorite deluxe resorts. So there are 8 Walt Disney World deluxe resorts, and I am gonna rank them. And let me tell you, it was really, really hard. So before I get started, I just want to say I would stay at any of these resorts in a heartbeat. There is nothing wrong with any of these resorts. Even my last place deluxe resort would be, you know, a choice for me among a lot of other things. It's just a matter of personal preference, I guess. And when I started doing my rankings, I started kind of realizing that my rankings were very similar to the price point. My number 1 was one of the most expensive ones, and my number 8 was one of the less, I wouldn't even say cheap, but it was less expensive. So still expensive because it's Disney, but it was less expensive. So I think that kind of probably coincides with what public perception is. So let's go ahead and get started. My number 8 Walt Disney World Deluxe Resort is going to be Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. Now, I love Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. I have only stayed at Jambo House. I haven't stayed at the lodge portion, so the hotel cash stay, but it's all in the same building, so Jambo is the same building. We love it. It's got so many amenities and activities and everything. It's just far. It's just far from a lot of the parks, and if you are down the hall, you gotta walk. You gotta walk a lot. And you gotta walk to the bus. And sometimes the animals don't wanna be around. So you may have a Savannah view, but maybe they don't wanna be around. So you may pay for a Savannah view and you may never see animals. So I love the resort. It is beautiful. It is, the amenities and the furniture is fantastic. It's just, it's far from a lot of the parks, especially from Magic Kingdom. And, you know, I think for me, the most part is the best Savannah views are going to have the longest walk to the front of the resort and to the bus. So, you know, it's a great resort. Love it. Again, would stay there in a heartbeat. But for the deluxe resorts, if I had to choose, it would probably be my least favorite. Sorry. Okay, so number 7 is one that I have never stayed at personally, and I really want to. So that just tells you how much, even though it's my number 7, I really want to stay there. But it is the Contemporary Resort. So Disney's Contemporary Resort is number 7, and the reason being is there's just, I mean, it has the incredible theming, but that's it. It's kind of looks like a regular, almost like a convention, you know, hotel. Again, we want to stay there. I'm dying to stay there. Since I was a little kid and we would go through the monorail, I was like, how cool would it be to be able to stay at the hotel where the monorail comes through? And it's so cool. But if I had to choose from the other resorts at Disney World, it probably, you know, if I was like, you get a week stay at any resort, this would not be my choice. There's definitely other choices that I would pick. Now, I definitely want to stay there. You know, and we stayed at Bay Lake Tower, which was really great. The walking distance to Magic Kingdom is amazing. But, you know, again, it would probably be towards the bottom of my list because after a day or two, yeah, it's, you know, it's kind of over as far as the excitement. Okay, so number 6 is going to be Disney's Yacht Club Resort. So again, we just stayed at Disney's Yacht Club Resort this past July, right before our Disney Wish cruise. It was fantastic, and I have nothing wrong to say and nothing bad to say about it. You have the Storm Along Bay. It is also just a convention hotel, and also one of the, I guess, downsides that I had was to get anything to eat was really far away. There really wasn't anywhere you could just grab anything. We had to kind of order to go at Yacht, I think it was Yachtman's Steakhouse. So it wasn't bad, but our room was fantastic. We had a great view of the fireworks from Epcot. It was great. But again, now you did have that great access to Epcot International Gateway, and then also to Hollywood Studios. But, you know, again, if I were to choose between other resorts, it would be kind of, you know, number 6. Okay, so next on my list for my favorite deluxe resorts is going to be Disney's Wilderness Lodge. So I love Disney's Wilderness Lodge, especially during the Christmas time. We've never actually stayed on the Disney Wilderness Lodge cash side, the hotel side, but we have stayed at Boulder Ridge. So we stayed on property. It is fantastic. The pool is okay. The slide is very small. The splash pad is okay. Geyser Point is fantastic. It is just one of the best on property restaurants. It's just a really great restaurant. But Wilderness Lodge is great, except, you know, one of the downsides of it is that it's not within walking distance to any of the parks. You can take a boat to Magic Kingdom, but that is not as frequent as the bus. So it's sometimes even faster to take the bus, where the boat is very nice. But, you know, it's beautiful. Again, beautiful, especially during, you know, Christmas time. And, you know, it's a beautiful resort. I absolutely love it. It's just not, again, if I were to be given a free week at any deluxe Walt Disney World resort, it wouldn't be Wilderness Lodge. Okay, so now we're moving into the top 4. So again, there's 8 deluxe resorts, and we're moving into the second top half. And the interesting thing with the deluxe resorts is that my number 4 is probably my number 1 on the villa side, but there is a difference, and that is Disney's Boardwalk Inn. So Disney's Boardwalk Inn, we actually have stayed there maybe 1 or 2 nights back in 2019. And it's great. I mean, I love Boardwalk. You have the Boardwalk. It's within walking distance to Epcot. It's within walking distance to Disney's Hollywood Studios. You actually have the Boardwalk. It's just fantastic. But I think the villa side is better than the hotel side. It is also a convention hotel, so that's something to keep in mind. But I love it. It is great. I would absolutely stay there in a heartbeat. But I do like 1, 2, and 3 a little bit more than the Boardwalk. But it's a great resort. And again, any of these resorts, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing that I would say I would not stay at any one of these resorts or pay good money to stay at any one of these resorts. It's just, of these, the Boardwalk Inn falls to number 4. So that leads me to number 3, and number 3 is Disney's Beach Club Resort. Again, love Disney's Beach Club Resort. I love the villas, and the Beach Club, the resort is probably maybe even a little better because it's probably closer to Stormalong Bay. It's closer to maybe even Epcot, depending on where you are within the resort. So it's really fantastic, and they have a lot of great unique rooms within Disney's Beach Club Resort. Again, when you're talking about Disney's Beach Club Resort, you have walking distance to Epcot, you have walking distance to Disney's Hollywood Studios, so you have a lot of things involved. So again, it is a fantastic resort. We are headed there next week, and we are staying at the Disney's Beach Club Resort, Beach Club Villas. So we are headed to the DVC portion of Beach Club, which I absolutely love. So it's my number 3. But that's still really, really good because my number 1 and 2, I can't, you know, it's I would stay at any one of these. So, but 3, I love Beach Club Resort. It's got so many things going for it, but 1 and 2 are just something special. Okay, so for number 1 and 2 of my favorite Walt Disney World resorts, deluxe resorts, it was a toss-up. And I think any day, these could be switched. But if I really had to narrow it down and I was getting a free week, which week would I pick? I would pick my number 1. So my number 2 is Disney's Polynesian Resort. So Disney's Polynesian Resort is the original Walt Disney World resort. I think it opened with Walt Disney World maybe on October 1st or I think maybe October 2nd, but it is the original resort and I love it. We have stayed there on the villa side. It's fantastic. They have amazing amenities, amazing restaurants. You have the pool, the lava pool, the best splash pad, I think, on property. Just, you have the beach, you can watch the fireworks. There's just so much at the Polynesian Resort. The rooms are really good size. It's just amazing. It is really, it is such an amazing resort. I mean, John Lennon stayed there. Like, that's where the Beatles were dissolved. It's just an amazing resort. Again, number 1, if I had to narrow it down, I would probably choose number 1 over number 2. But I would choose the Polynesian any day. It is such an amazing resort and there's just so many things going for it. Okay, so now we're down to my number 1 Walt Disney World Deluxe Resort, and that is going to be the Grand Floridian. I love it. I absolutely love it. I have stayed at the villa side. I have stayed on the hotel side. It is the flagship resort. I walk in, I feel special. Now, I know the biggest complaint here is that a lot of people will say that they feel that it's very snooty, that they feel it's like they're walking around in their swimsuit or their shorts. They're gonna feel like underdressed. And I kind of got that impression until I stayed there. And then when I stayed there, you realize it's kind of just another resort and everybody's kind of in the same boat. But I can see how you get that impression if you aren't staying there. But I just love it. We have stayed at the hotel side. I've stayed at the hotel side twice, 2 or 3 times. I've stayed at the original villas, and then I stayed at the new villa with my son back in October, and I love it. I actually love that brand new DVC building. But there's just something about the Grand Floridian. I mean, they filmed Full House there, and it's like that's where the weddings are, and it's just a beautiful. There's a reason why that is the flagship resort for Walt Disney World. It's just beautiful, and I am a sucker for it. I just love it. So if I were to be given a free week at Walt Disney World at any resort, it would be the Grand Floridian Resort. It's my favorite, and I just love staying there. And then I also love being able to walk. I'll take the monorail to Magic Kingdom, but we've walked back. The last 2 years when we've come home from the Halloween party, I have walked back. Usually my son is sleeping in the stroller, but I have walked back and it's fantastic. It's about a mile. It's about 15 minutes, but it's a nice walk and it's much faster than waiting for the monorail or a boat. And it's nice and a little scary because if you're walking back at 1 a.m., there's some sounds and it sounds like there could be a golden panther walking or Florida panther walking out. It sounds like maybe there could be a Florida panther jumping out at you at any moment, but it's still really nice. Again, I just love it. So that is my ranking for the Walt Disney World Deluxe Resorts. That was really hard, I will tell you, because I love every single one of them and I would stay at any single one of them in a heartbeat. So even my number 8, which I think was Animal Kingdom Lodge, I still love it. So I'd rather stay, I would rather be on Disney property than anywhere else. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.